Okay, so welcome everyone, and today's Saturday at 8 session. And today it was just like I did not have any topic in mind, not really having any theme what to discuss. Uh, but I thought we'll just meet anyone who wants to meet or talk about things. And yeah, based on wherever we are, we can just share something and maybe then start to reflect upon it. And while I was just sitting here, it just came to me, that what are our reflections on why are we here as human beings? Because we see that life is full of challenges, joys, sorrows also. So what is the purpose? So if those of us who are here would like to share our present understanding on why are we here at all? What is the purpose of me taking a birth as a human being? Yeah, your present understanding on that, and then maybe we can take forward from there, or we can take up anything that you have to share. Mahima and Sarika, so it's just the three of us today, and I think we can have a rather intimate session because it's not many of us. So if wherever you want to start from. मतलब आई एम एज्यूमिंग कि हमने कभी तो सोचा होगा इसके बारे में कि हम पैदा ही क्यों हुए. If you could share upon that.
I have actually thought a lot about it. Like I have gone into a phase where this question was like troubling me a lot. And I have come out of that phase finding the answer that there is no such purpose.
No such? I can
Like
get
there
it.
is no such grand, deep meaning purpose, I guess.
Really? Okay. Is that a guess or is that like a strong, solid conclusion?
That is the answer that has satisfied me for now.
Okay, okay, okay.
But it's like it's more about creating your purpose. And if your mind cannot find a purpose for some days, then just being in denial. But I think searching the answer to this question has really pissed me off.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm totally with you. Yes. Yeah. What about you, Sarika? So Sarika says, I was once told that reaching the highest potential of the body and the mind could be the purpose, doing our best with what we have got. I think that's really beautiful. Yeah. Could be the purpose. Yeah. It's very interesting that it's amongst all living beings present on this planet, it's man who searches for this meaning of his life. So it's very interesting. Yeah.
Like I read that book, Man's Search for Meaning. Your words reminded me. So it was about like that is written by a psychiatrist, and like he was in a concentration camp, and he said that like when we have painful life and we are struggling a lot and we don't know the reason for it, then that's the lack of reason is what is the cause of majorly most mental health diseases. And even if we are in a lot of pain but we can find a story behind it, our mind has the strength. So it's like our mind needs a story and a why. Actually, a lot of books are written on that using different words. So it
Yeah.
was about like you need to create almost like a lie, I guess, create a purpose to live, I guess, because I have gone into that, existential crisis slash depression, I don't know, sort of phase where I was like, I don't have any purpose. So what's the point at all? It's like
Yeah.
you created.
Yeah. Beautiful. So Mahima, I would actually take this occasion, since we are all we Living Light, at Living Light we are connected with Mother and Sri Aurobindo. I take this opportunity to share with you what they have shared to humanity on the purpose of being here. Yeah, Sarika is sharing a quote by Albert Camus: "You will never live if you are looking for the meaning of life." Interesting. Yeah, there are actually many concepts around it, many theories about it, and we have to find our own, where we find a settlement. As Mahima was sharing, that I did search for it, and right now I am here. So I think, and then we go on. Maybe after 2 years, something changes. I become introduced to a something, maybe a larger concept, and then my from a relative truth we go to another truth. Then we move on. So this progression is only available to man. That's the very important thing, and that's why many masters and mystics have said that manush janam amol re, tu mati mein na ghul re. So human birth is precious. Do not waste it like that. And first of all, I have to actually really be curious to know what is so special about human birth. How am I different from an animal? Now, an animal does not want to self exceed. जो ये सेल्फ एक्सीड करने की जो कैपेसिटी है, ये इंसान में है. मूविंग टुवर्ड्स परफेक्शन. अगर आप म्यूजिशियन है तो यू वांट टू मेक अ बेटर एंड बेटर म्यूजिक. इफ यू आर अ वोकलिस्ट, यू वांट टू सिंग बेटर एंड बेटर. इफ यू आर अ maybe an artist, you want to make better and better. You want to learn better from better gurus. So this better and better, this striving to perfection is there. This also innately there is a kind of a discontent. You are never satisfied with yourself, and it's beautiful that we are not ever satisfied with ourselves, because that is what pushes me ahead. क्योंकि अगर imagine करो that I am very happy with my life, I'm very happy for 5 years, I'm very content living in my comfort zones, doing what I like, there cannot be much progress in the comfort zones. So tamas or inertia soon settles in if we live for a long time in our comfort zones. And that's why we indulge in various kind of addictions, where food addictions, or maybe these series that we watch. Any kind of addiction we get to, because we don't know what to do with our time. We are struggling. We don't even want to admit at times that I'm looking for something. So this capacity of discontent, being not satisfied with ourselves, is there in man. And it's there for a reason. Because if it was not there, how would I move to a higher version of me? An animal does not want to move towards a higher version, because he does not have the discontent. He is just happy with the basic needs of survival. Food, reproduction, shelter, all of that. That's it. He's one with his nature. But we are not just our nature, which is, the 5 indriya, 5 senses. We are not just our nature. We are something more than our nature. And that's why no matter how much good food you eat, after 5-10 years of, giving yourself to eating, you will actually be curious, what am I here doing? Am I only born for eating and, making things in eating? Or maybe there is something more. So this something more is what a human being craves for, and it is not in vain that he craves for that we crave for that. There is something more to us, and Mother and Sri Aurobindo have shared a lot about it. A lot. They have actually detailed why are we born, how the world has been created. And the skeptic mind may actually think that it is maybe just another theory, but if you go deeper into their works, it's not just a superficial theory. There is detail in that theory. You can actually go to the formulas of how life has been created, why are we here, and then when you experiment on yourself, then you also see, yes, it works like that. When, for example, Mother and Sri Aurobindo, okay, so Jasmine is asking, just curious what they have to say about why are we born. I would actually like to ask your intuitions about this. Those of us who may have intuitions about it, or who may live a life according to that whatever you think, why are we born? Please share if you have any intuitive guesses. Why are we born at all? So Jasmine, I think you're sharing no idea, but there may be ideas because we are not separate from our true nature, which has all the knowing. So it cannot be that this no idea is absolutely true. You may have some hints and clues here or there.
I just feel like, can you hear me? Okay. I just feel like I have these stories to tell myself. Really, I have no idea. But I also feel it's just our mind trying to give us a reason to be here. I feel it's just to live like in a present moment, just be. If there is no, I think this whole purpose thing is
Okay.
I don't know how to explain it. I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
there's nothing to be, there's nowhere to go, there's nothing to be achieved, but I feel it's just to be the present moment. I don't know.
Yes.
So everything else just seems
Yes.
like stories for me. So, so yeah, I'm outside, so I might not be clear. I'm going to music.
Okay. So Sarika is sharing people who have the basic needs taken care of, think about the purpose and all. No. Okay. You mean to say that people who are working for their survival, they don't think about the purpose of living because they have no time for that. Absolutely with you. Absolutely. And it's amazing because it's not that simple. The whole creation and the stages of progression of souls, it's not that simple that we can just address it in like one line or one session. For example, we have also been there. Right now I don't have to really labor myself out to for basic needs of survival, right? But I have been there. I have been a labor worker. I have been in sweat and blood, earning money and earning for food and basic needs of survival. It's not possible that I have not been there, because every kind of experience a soul takes, being starting from all kind of roles, being a murderer, being, maybe a terrorist. Every role has to be taken up by the soul because it wants a variety of experiences. Yeah. So although I'm with you here, absolutely, that people who are totally looking after their basic needs, busy with that, they would not think about the purpose of life. Absolutely true. But for us who are there in the session today, yeah, we do think about it. Do think about it. And then we try to fill up our time to distract ourselves because we don't know the answer. We can't find the answer. So, okay, what to do? Just be here. As I think Jasmine was sharing, just be there in the present moment. But easier said than done. How long can we fully be there? And why can't we be fully there? And what do we actually mean by fully being there in the moment? So am I giving my highest? Am I working from the highest possible in me? Usually we are not there. So although I'm totally resonating, Jasmine, with what you shared, giving yourself completely to the work you are doing. Yeah. But are we ever there? Maybe a few moments in the day, I think, and rest of it is our tendencies and patterns of behavior. Sometimes I find myself, sometimes I find some answer for myself, and then I am unable to trust myself and that answer. Yeah, yeah. I think that's with all of us, Sarika. I would resonate with that. Yeah. And Jasmine says that being totally there, mindfully and giving yourself to the present moment is a lot of work. Absolutely with you. It's a lot of effort because the mind again and again slips back into unconsciousness, stories and drama. Something I'm trying to cultivate. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. So according to Mother and Sri Aurobindo, we are here for a reason. And that's why the discontent is there in man. And the reason is to progress and to grow in our consciousness, to unite with our highest possible consciousness, which we call in other terms, Bhagwan or divine consciousness. You know, that which is infinite consciousness, that which is all knowing, all pervading. अंतर्यामी कहते हैं भगवान को कि वो सब जानता है. So the idea which Sri Aurobindo, in crux of it, if you want to go into detail, I would actually recommend you to delve into works of Mother and Sri Aurobindo. If you want any suggestions, I can share later, because there they share that we mostly are engaged in the basic needs of survival. अच्छा आज क्या खा लूं, अच्छा आज क्या बना लूं, you know, अच्छा थोड़ा सा ये पढ़ लेते हैं, थोड़ा सा वो पढ़ लेते हैं, you know, थोड़ा पैसा कमा लिया. Basic needs, outer needs, थोड़े emotions here and there, you know, हो गए. But what they say is that we are here so that our soul can come forward. Unless the soul comes forward, it takes the charge of the being. We will always be banging our head blindly on the wall here and there. Hits and trials, hits and trials, hits and trials. And that's what they, yeah, Sarika, you are asking, what if one is an atheist? So Mother has actually shared, for the people who do not connect with the word divine, they connect with the word perfection. So what am I here for? I am to be a better and better and better and better version of myself, moving towards perfection. Perfection in thoughts, perfection in feelings, perfection in the body, perfection in my actions. You know, so for those of us who do not have this idea of divine with them, which is okay, because Mother was connected with many Westerners, you know, people who would come from Europe and America, and not everyone is a believer that there is some higher power or higher intelligence. So you take the word perfection, because ab dekho, both of the concepts are very similar. Now, when I talk about God or the divine, it's always the moment I move closer to it, it moves further away. The moment I move closer to it, it moves further away. And perfection is also like this. The moment I make something beautiful, I know that I can make something even more beautiful. So this is the idea of perfection, that we can always better and better and better in our thoughts, feelings, actions, you know, being conscious of what we are saying, being conscious of what we are thinking, being conscious of what emotions we are carrying all the time. Yeah, and being conscious of what actions I am engaged in. Are they in alignment with my truth, or do they make me uneasy and troubled all the time? Yeah. Yes, but it's not about achieving actually. Yeah. Sarika is saying that the more I try to achieve something, the more I slip away. Yeah, it's actually about moving towards more and more beauty. And imagine that you are an artist. You make a beautiful picture today. Now, the next day you are looking at it and you see, oh my God, I could have actually done many things here or there, which could have made it more beautiful. And every time you look at whatever you have created, every time you know something new and you say, okay, I could have made it more, even more powerful and beautiful and inspirational. Yeah? So this idea is there with us human beings. You know, the idea of progressive movement towards more beauty, more truth, more peace, more harmony in relationships and in my own self, more harmony in thoughts, feelings, sensations, more purity. And so according to Mother and Sri Aurobindo, we are here to make ourselves perfect instruments of the divine, or those of us who do not have the concept divine, to make ourselves better and better and better in all our parts, thoughts, feelings, sense perceptions, actions, speech, everything. Nothing should remain in darkness. So that is the basic idea of being born as a human being. And we cannot be content in just having a good job and just having a good life. We can never be content. Sooner or later, we will actually fall in depression or have some kind of discontent. For example, any depression or any discontent tells me that I have to go further. I have stagnated and I have to go further. Move towards my better and better version. Get in touch with my deeper self. Put the soul forward. Put the king of the inner guiding light, which knows what is beautiful, what is ugly. That has to come forward. So that is in crux the purpose of human existence, in the words of Mother and Sri Aurobindo. And that's why I think we really feel good when we are challenging ourselves. If you can share a few experiences where you challenged yourself, and you seem to progress in some form or the other, although that would have brought some amount of discomfort, definitely, because every progress comes with a discomfort. It cannot be a peaceful progress. Never, never. One can have peace inside the being, but outwardly when we are progressing, we always have to go through some or the other breaking. Just like if I am carving something out of stone, maybe a deity out of stone, so I'll have to chip off the extra parts of the rock, and in that chipping off, the rock is hurt. So when the higher intelligence or the universe works upon us, we are in constant work in progress. Chipping away happens. All that which is not necessary for me, all that impurifies me, it impures me, that kind of is chipped apart so that I can be better and better. And in that it pains, in that it hurts. And that's why all of us go through all kind of struggles, challenges, painful experiences, maybe falling in love experiences where you realize later that you actually cannot ever be complete using the other person. Then we fall out of love. Yeah. Yeah. So Jasmine is sharing, it's painful to integrate your higher consciousness as it brings out changes in our surroundings, relationships, and my own perception is changing. Yeah, it's painful. Absolutely. And it causes, she says that it causes discomfort to people around you to process this change in ourselves. Absolutely. I think both the places discomfort is there. We have to go through discomfort, and the people around also go through discomfort. But if we look at a larger picture, even at a smaller picture, it's an auspicious discomfort. It's something which we must welcome. For a new birth, the labor pains have to be there. A pregnant mother, to-be mother would go through labor pains. Why? Because a new birth is to happen. If she says, no, I don't want to have pain at all, but then we know that in these cesarean sections or the unnatural deliveries that we do without the pain and all, we compromise with the health of the child. Yeah. So for any new birth to happen, pain is something at the moment where we are collectively in consciousness, coming from ignorance, darkness of ignorance, moving towards light. At this moment, we feel there is a necessity of pain. Pain is required for a new birth. If I keep on avoiding pain and struggle, I cannot have a new birth. So Jasmine is asking, so what if we keep encountering someone who keeps confronting you with their ego? I think it's beautiful to have these people around. Mujhe lagta hai. Yeah, I understand, Jasmine. And all of us have some or the other people around who would keep on knocking again and again. Kabir says, Nindak niyare rakhiye, angan kuthi chhawaye, bin pani sabun bina nirmal kare suhai. So he says, keep these critical people around you. Why? Because they are the ones, without water, without soap, they will purify your nature. So it appears harsh, but that's how it is. That's how it is. So I would say that we have to go through all the hurts that we get from the situations, circumstances. At times, obviously, we say our point, but one has to go through these challenges. There is no other way. There is no other way. And realize what one has to learn in the process. Go through it, grow through it, something like that. We cannot avoid them, because wherever we go, we will find people. If not people, if we are in forest, we will find our own, voices in the head. So we will have to confront them. It would be never possible that we are not in a relationship. We will always be in a relationship, and it's through our relationships that we learn and grow and progress. And mother says that all difficulties lie within you. So if you see something is coming from outside, just learn the necessary progress that you have to make, and go on. And slowly it happens that the more you learn about your own nature, about the world around you, the more those people who are now not required around you, they somehow disappear. Newer ones would come. This happens with many people. If you ask them, that they have been maybe there was a pattern of some similar kind of people around them, and once they grow through those people, they learn their lessons, then those people are replaced by some other people who are now necessary for the growth. Since all that matters is growth of consciousness, that is what matters. And you would see that all these people who are around us, they are the ones who are chiseling us and shaping us into being more compassionate, more kind, more loving, more progress oriented, and not going into the story again and again, because they challenge us, and because of them we trip into the story again and again. So then I learn, I don't have to trip into the story. I have to learn my lesson and move on. Yes, Jasmine. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, anyone who wants to share anything, any more reflections, anything? So Mother and Sri Aurobindo have talked about the psychic being, which they talk about, which is the true individuality within us, which I was sharing on the groups. So every Sunday we are having these integral life education sessions. I think some of you are maybe aware of them. And tomorrow we will continue the journey of why is it necessary to find our true center, or what we call as the soul or the psychic being. And tomorrow we will be taking up that at 3 p.m. So if any one of you would be interested, just ping me on WhatsApp and I can share the link to join. This is a continuing series which we have been doing. We have earlier discussed the mental nature, the emotional nature, and now we are on the psychic being, which I would think take many sessions, because this is very important, the psychic being. And Mother says that if that comes in forward, the soul or the king of your being comes forward, then the journey becomes a little smooth. Difficulties will be there, challenges will be there, but the guiding light is also there and active, very active. All of us have that guiding light, but mostly the guiding light is masked by the outer nature. So much going on in the head, so much in the emotions. So the guiding light remains masked. And the purpose of being human is to bring out that true individuality. And there only we get to know what is my purpose of life, what we were starting with earlier. Yeah. Okay, Jasmine, thank you for joining. Yeah. So this Mother says that if you don't yet know what to do in your life, just tell yourself that whatever profession you are following, I will do it in the best of my attitude. I'll do it as a service to the society, or those people who have faith in the divinity. They say that I'll do it as a service to the divine. And slowly you know that that is not the true vocation that you want in your life. It's not that what you want to do all your life, but slowly I would know what I really want to have in my life. So that is how we start with, because initially as a child, the soul is in front. Children are directly in touch with their psychic being. Just a second. Yeah, but slowly through our conditioning, it gets masked. We mask it. We make every child into a copy of the other child. That's what we do in our education system. So we lose our uniqueness. And this uniqueness is the psychic individuality or the true individuality, which slowly we arrive at. It's a gradual process, very painstaking process. And mother has delineated a lot of stuff has been written on how to progress towards this finding the true individuality in us. And I think we must make that effort, because otherwise we just feel lost all the time. What am I here to do? Is this what I have to do in my life? We are never sure about it. So the more we touch our deeper self, the more we become surer about, okay, this is how I want to manifest myself in this present human life. And one feels it. All of us have had a touch of it. Yeah, please share if anything. I just keep on talking and talking. If there is any reflection, please go ahead and share. Yeah, Rajaji, actually today we did not have any topic. We just started randomly talking about our purpose of being human. Why are we here and what is the purpose of human existence? So we were just sharing our understanding of that matter. So if you have anything to share on that matter, what according to you feel is maybe the purpose of human life? Why are we here? So many mystics and masters have talked about it. This is not a new topic. This has been a very old topic discussed since eons and eons. And for example, Kabir, in his many couplets, he says that if you can wake up to your truth, please wake up. Please wake up. It's urgent. And that is what he has been pointing at. Waking up to our true individuality, waking up to our truth, which is divine in nature, waking up to our psychic being. So it's not that the psychic being is asleep. It's not that the soul is sleeping. It's that I am so engaged in the sense perceptions. आज क्या देखा, क्या सुना, उसके बारे में सोचना. आज क्या खाना है, all the bodily engagements, the desires, the ambitions. We are so lost there that as if we are in a sleep. And that's where Kabir says that if you can wake up to your truth, wake up right now. And that's where he says that the world of the sense perceptions is not a real world. Although according to Mother and Sri Aurobindo, that's also the real world, but it's only the outer world. There is an inner world that we have. There is an inner self that we have. And if we do not take out time and effort to get in touch with that deeper truth, it will live a half-lived life. As if I did not allow myself to take birth. So the inner being which lies against the veil of the outer has to come forward. Yeah. Yes, Mahima, please share. Yeah, Mahima, you wanted to share? I thought you unmuted.
Yeah, so while you were talking, so this would go like a bit off track, not off track, side track. So I was reading this book recently, Sapiens, if you know what it by Yuval Noah Harari. And yeah, it was like, so he talked about like like it was more about evolutionary biology and history kind of book, where he talked about, you know, how humans evolved to what we are now, from being like total monkeys or chimpanzees. So it is not directly a spirituality philosophical book, but it, like, reading that whole book, it's like it makes you think like all these words we are talking about, like progress and perfection and achieving a higher self, like their definitions are also, you know, kind of shaped by our culture. And you know, like when we are talking about waking up to a higher self, we ourselves have defined what is higher self and what is lower self. Uh so it's like when you said finding our true individuality, so again he talked about like this individuality is like a new culture, you can say, which came up in last some decades only. Before that, we, like humans, existed in tribes of 50, and there was no such thing as having an individuality. Like if tribe survives, you survive, and you are nothing without it. So it's like all those philosophy we talk about and all those things, how we define our, you know, progress and better life, are also kind of shaped by other truths which we have imagined ourselves, or you know, which are being influenced by our conditioning and parenting and culture we live in. So it's like I wondered, I had like, am I really achieving my true self, or am I you know, fooling myself to think that, you know, I am progressing a bit? You know, what if like food, water, shelter is all there is, and everything you know, all this, my being more spiritual is just, you know, like is there a thing as true individuality?
Yeah, yeah. I think I understand where you are coming from, Mahima. And there is a relative truth there in what you are talking about. And I would say experiment with it. I think that's what I say every time. Because since I experiment with my own self, experiment with yourself that living in food, shelter, and whatever the bodily needs, if you can be content, go ahead. Who is stopping us? But if you are not content, there is something which one can open ourselves to. No one is stopping us to experiment. There is a free will. You know, whenever we, even in spirituality, spiritual terms, we talk about surrender, you know, surrendering to the higher intelligence or whatever. There we say that it's a free surrender. At any time I can surrender, at any time I can take the surrender back, since the creation is based on free will. So I would say experiment with it, and it's beautiful to experiment. Why? Because when I experiment with my own self, my inferences are my own, and I'm in very conviction. I have a conviction about my inferences, that I have been there, done that. That did not give me contentment, and hence I am looking for something more. But if that gave me contentment, yeah, and that is how I would like to live, no one can force us, and there is no compulsion. Why do we need growth at all then, when I have all the happiness that I need? But the thing is that that which drives us further usually is that I can't find that happiness. I can't find that lasting happiness and joy and this, this want to live. And that's where people turn to spirituality mostly. That's how our journey starts. So as long as I am content with the life I am living, nobody can force me to believe anything. And I should not. I should go by my own experiences, I would say. I think that's what I would say. So experimenting and then finding out for your own self what is true, what is truer, what is not true. Maybe right now for me, maybe it was true 2 years ago, but right now not true, because our truths also keep on changing. Yeah. What we believe in today, that would change. After 10 years, I may believe in something else and live my life according to that something else, which is my journey. I remember once, Mahima, please share. I keep on talking.
Yeah, yeah, you mentioned that this like constant discontent we are having. So is this discontent like my true individual characteristic, or like my soul is searching for something, or is this again something culture has conditioned me, like consumerism or so many advertisements convincing me that I need more? Like how do you trust your feelings or your intuitions to know like this is a soul thing, or is it just me living in a society?
Okay, so I would like to maybe ask you a question here, if you can. Think about one moment in time. There may be many moments, but if you can share a couple of moments or maybe one moment where you really felt as if that, wow, what beauty, and that propelled you further into some journey forward. Maybe some beauty, some inspiration, something much more than that you saw, and that propelled you to towards life, or gave you enthusiasm. Anything of that sorts, if you can imagine from your life. Yeah.
Yeah, what's your point? Yeah, I can imagine couple
Okay.
of things.
Yeah. So something in us recollects that moment again and again, because that was a deeply lived moment. And most of us have such memories where something in us was deeply touched, and we knew that it was of a different character than my ordinary movements. Something more higher, purer, maybe beautiful, luminous. Don't go by the words, I'm just using words, I'm trying to explain it. More deeper, more profounder. And that never left you. Now, these moments, again, it's a matter of really being open to looking at these moments, because we look at other moments also. So I can look at these moments also. What was so special about them? What did they do to my being? What was so special about them? If you can reflect, go back to that moment, the memory, the feeling in the body, what was so special about that moment?
Yeah, I think they were kind of like specifically unique. Like, yeah, I think I'm getting your point. Like, they felt good somewhere, which was especially for me kind of moment.
Absolutely. Now, what happens? Imagine that there is an overcast sky. overcast sky full of dark clouds. Now, when we see patches of blue sky, one person can think, oh, that's just a patch of blue cloud. But is that true? That's not true. The truth is that the sky is overcast, the blue sky is there in the background, but there are patches of dark clouds. So the patches are not of the blue sky, that vision or the depth that that experience gave you. Although it appears as patches, why? Because I am so crowded in my thoughts and emotions. That dark cloud, the overcast sky. Now, Mother and Sri Aurobindo have said that to these special moments, we have to go back again and again. Why? I will tell you why they say. Yeah. Yes. So they say that something was shown to you from something beyond your ordinary consciousness. Raja ji, abhi dekhte hain. We will see if we can. Yeah. So something was revealed to you in that overcast sky, the crowded mind and feelings that we have. Something was as if a gift was dropped. See, here, this is your possibility. You can actually entirely live in those depths and beauty. But the skeptical mind that we have, which also has its qualities, but again, the drawbacks are also there, it doubts. It says, no, 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 no. No, that cannot be my life. My life is this material life. So we doubt. And now it's our own choice. Do I want to just all my life keep on doubting what the experience I had, but it was a true experience for me? Or would I want to relive that experience, feel it in my body, the kind of consciousness it touched in my body, and begin my life to live from those depths? Or to think of it as maybe one incident out of a blue, and that has nothing to do with me really. My life is this overcast, dark cloud sky. That's what it is about. So those moments, extraordinary moments, which deeply touch our being, which we can never forget, full of beauty, radiance, and purity, they are given to us as a gift from somewhere to tell us that this is also a possibility. And we must, Mother says, we must go to them again and again. We must try to make that our life, because that is our higher possibility. Now, ultimately, the choice is ours. Whether I want to still go on with the so-called, what people call a normal life. And yeah, Sarika says, why are these moments so few? These moments are few because we give importance to something else. Now imagine that there is birds chirping outside. Maybe it's dawn or dusk time. The birds are chirping outside. My AC is on and the AC makes a lot of noise. Now AC is on. There is a lot of noise. I need the AC. I need the AC because I need the cold, the chill in the air. And immediately the light goes away. And I hear the chirp. Beautiful. But I need the AC. So I switch on the AC again. What am I giving priority to? What is more important in my life? And that's why nobody can force us to live a deeper life unless we ourselves are called towards it. So once I have had enough of AC, enough of cooling, now I am okay with sweat. Had enough years with the AC. Now I actually want to listen to the birds, or those referring to those deeper moments. And then they become more often. To live deeply, to live an inner life, and to be immersed in that inner life, and to have more and more of heartful, if I can say, heartful moments. It can be possible. But the thing is that we don't have time for that. Those of us who have time for that, they have dedicated their life to this. Yeah, Rajaji, we'll see. Yeah. So Rajaji is talking about some video, Carl Sagan video, which I think you can share it on the group here. If you can put the link here, Rajaji, then we can see it later, because right now it will not be possible to play that. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. Bye-bye. या सो अगर मुझे एसी चाहिए, मेरे को वो चाहिए ही नहीं, तो एसी चलेगा मेरे घर में, ये चक्कर होता है. दैट्स व्हाट आई फील, दैट देयर इज समथिंग एल्स दैट वी आर वांटिंग. एंड व्हेन वी ट्रूली 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 इंटेंसली want that, those fewer moments which you were referring to, then nobody can keep us away from them. They become more frequent. They become more frequent. And it gives you joy. It gives us joy. Living deeply, having these deeper, richer experiences, it gives us joy. Yeah, absolutely, Sarika. So she's saying that I think it's about gathering courage to shut out the noise. Once I know it is noise, then I would not have problem shutting it out. To me, it appears important. It's not noise to me. I want to know what is there. That's where I think our problem lies. So as long as the material, so-called, little nitty-gritties of life remain important for me, I will be engaged there. But the moment it becomes noise, I will be able to shut it off. There is a difference between noise and voice. So for me right now, it is my life and my voice. I want to listen to it. But when it becomes noise, then we can easily put what they say, this Fenesta, the soundproof windows and doors. Because I know that I don't want it. तो हमारी चालाकी है, हमको जब तक चाहिए तो वो नॉइज रहेगी, जब नहीं चाहिए तो फिर हम ही तैयार हो जाएंगे, बोलेंगे हाँ बिल्कुल लगवा दो साउंड प्रूफ विंडोज एंड व्हाटएवर doors. So the idea, I think, just the crux of the matter is that the first step to get in touch with the deeper reality is that first of all, I think, venture into words of Mother and Sri Aurobindo. If you can do that, lot of courage and inspiration we get from there, and then you begin to live a deeper life, living within, they say. So Sarika is sharing, I am unable to trust my voice and keep going back to the noise. I don't have the guts, I think. I think that's okay, Sarika, because we slowly develop the guts. So right now, if you keep on going back to the noise, go back to the noise, get hurt, get, bleed, get wounded. And then slowly a time would come that nobody would need to convince you to listen to your voice. You will listen to your voice. Yeah. Allow yourself to follow. If you say that I am, being called towards the noise, follow the noise. There may be some lesson or learning there, and whenever you are ready, you follow the voice. और ये गट्स की भी जो बात है ना, गट्स किस में नहीं होते, बहुत गट्स होते हैं हम में, बहुत गट्स होते हैं. Even the weakest of fellow who says I am the weakest, even that one would have guts. We just keep on fooling ourselves. और demands हमारी होती हैं. We have some desires and demands, expectations from life. We put ourselves there, we invest ourselves there, and then we say I can't leave it, I don't have guts. But I feel that it's not like that. We always have guts. Always have guts. And also, the more I nurture my weaknesses, then I'm killing my own guts by nurturing my weaknesses. The more challenge I give myself, I am giving myself guts. है ना, जैसे अब मुझे अब जिमिंग करनी है तो मैं ज्यादा से ज्यादा वेट दूंगी ना अपने आप को, या कम से कम करूंगी. अगर 20 kg है तो अब मैं 30 करूंगी, 30 है तो 32 करूंगी. एवरी डे आई विल इंक्रीज. बट इफ आई वांट टू नर्चर माय व्हाटएवर खोखली kind of muscles, then I'll keep on picking up 1 kg, 2 kg. No, I can't do more. तो ये हम ही होते हैं, हम ही खुद अपने जिम करवाएंगे अपने आप को, और कोई नहीं करवाएगा. लाइफ भी करवाती है अलग अलग तरीके से. Yeah. So Mahima is sharing, I think it's not about courage and guts. Body and mind goes to what it needs. Yeah. And we will see that constantly going to the needs of the body, actually need and desire में बहुत फर्क है. The desire of the body or the mind and the need of the body and mind, they are two very thinly separated things. हम क्या करते हैं, we think that it is our need while it is our desire, and there we get strangulated, we get caught. So I am saying that my partner is my need, but it's my desire, because I can be with myself. It's just that I'm not used to now being with myself. है ना? So discomfort के through जाना पड़ेगा. But once I go through that discomfort and be okay with myself, I would see that it was just a desire. Yeah, we all wish for a comfortable lifestyle also. And who is stopping you to have that? But again, comfort की भी आप देखो ना कितनी definitions है. Comfort एक रूम में भी हो सकता है, comfort 3 bedroom में भी हो सकता है, comfort AC में भी हो सकता है, comfort पंखे में भी हो सकता है. We define our comfort. Again, there is no demarcated definition of what is comfort. Your comfort may be different from my comfort. है ना? So हम ही है मतलब करता धरता. रूमी का एक कोट है ना, रूमी कहता है कि it's the most ironical thing to see the man prisoned in a cage of which he has the key right next to him. So just I think pointing at how we create our cages, and when we have suffered enough, when we have tortured ourselves enough, then we get up one day and I say, let me open the cage. It was me who was stopping myself, and now I want to live. Yeah, so anything more, or we could wind up the session here also. If not anything, there is anything, please share your reflection. Effort चाहिए actually, persistent and effort, persistence and effort चाहिए continuously. Otherwise we fall back into our old habits. Okay, then thank you for joining, and yeah, see you some other time. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for the questions. Yeah, bye-bye. Bye.